Bourgogne is a unique land, a unique territory, in a unique region. There are vineyards for over 2,000 years. We are a unique region for its specific soils, mostly calcareous. We have a typicity, which is we grow majority two varietals, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Chardonnay was born in Burgundy. There's a village near Mâcon, southern part, which is named Chardonnay.
Today, we're taking a closer look at Bourgogne with Francois Labet, the president of the Bourgogne Wine Board. I'm Jason.
And I'm Trento here on the unapologetically unprofessional, unfiltered wine journey. And we're saying here, Jace.
Our saying is drink more, try more, learn more, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Francois, thank you so much for joining us.
Great pleasure to be with you.
Fantastic.
In Australia.
We're so happy to hear your perspective on Bourgogne and educating us around the area, particularly being the president of the Bourgogne Wine Board.
Yeah.
But also you've got your own wineries. You've got Chateau de la Tour, you've got Domaine Pierre as well. So there's so much to learn, and we want to find out about those accessible areas. So we've got a suite of questions here. I'll hand over to Trent.
Thank you. So you grew up in Bourgogne. You say you must have Bourgognian wine kind of running through your blood.
Indeed. Yes, I was born in Nuits-Saint-Georges, which is a famous village in the Côte d'Or. And yes, I have my roots in the vineyards, definitely. I like to say to my American friends that my family was making wine already when Christopher Columbus discovered America. So it puts us back some millenniums ago. But Burgundy, Bourgogne, we like to say Bourgogne, not Burgundy, because if you translate in French, Burgundy means Bordeaux.
Oh,
so it's a color. It's a color. So Bourgogne is a unique land, a unique territory, in a unique region. There are vineyards for over 2,000 years, and at the turn of the first millennium, the monks, Catholic monks, came from the south, arrived from the south, and started what is the wine region today. We are a unique region for its specific soils, mostly calcareous, and a continental climate, which obviously, just like everywhere, is hit by the climate chaos that we all live today. But we have a typicity, which is we grow in big majority two varietals, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Chardonnay was born in Burgundy. There's a village near Mâcon, southern part, which is named Chardonnay. And definitely our wines are 100% one varietal, which means that the viticulture has to be precisely done, the winemaking also, and the élevage also.
Yeah. You mentioned you've got your roots in Bourgogne. What are some of the reflections? What are some of the changes that you've seen go through the years within Bourgogne?
I am old enough to have lived those changes. My first vintage was 1984. Obviously, what has changed drastically the weather, but also we've had a lot of innovations in the technology globally, in the vineyard, of course, and inside in the winery. But basically, the fact that we've seen a strong evolution in the temperatures, in the strength of the sun and the sun rays, made that around the turn of the millennium, 2000, we started to harvest year after year ripe grapes. And everyone can understand that with ripe fruits, the potential of making good wines was there. Of course, there is no good wines without the good viticulture in the vineyard. This starts with the plants, the grafts, the rootstocks, the way of cultivating, More and more estates in Bourgogne are organically certified, a little over 20%, which is quite important. The rest of the estates are cultivating according to biological principles, even if they are not stamped. The young generation has, of course, brought a lot of those ideas to the region. We've seen also a great adaptation of our vineyards to the weather. A vine is a very resilient plant.
Mhm.
If we grow vines for 2,000 years, it has gone through hectic climate changes. The mid 1800, the what we call in French le petit âge glaciaire, the little icy age that did last for 40 years and finally brought the French Revolution, because there was no harvest of anything at all. So we've gone through that, and the vines have always survived to the climate changes. So I am not afraid of this climate challenge, except for one thing. It's a possible lack of water, possible drought, because no one, even us, can live without water. Definitely. So this is a challenge. Inside the winery, of course, technique for winemaking, stainless steel, new press, pneumatic press, etc. Enology also. I like to remind that enology is a science that is taught at university. An enologist as a diploma. It's chemistry. So enology has made a lot of progress. This had helped us to know more things like the malolactic fermentation. Has helped us to make wines with no more technical defaults. The élevage, the aging, also a lot of research on wood. The center of Bourgogne, so Codony, Côte de Beaune, when we age the wines in barrels. So a lot of research also on the effect of the oak on wines. And now on, we have a program of CO2, carbon dioxide reduction, held by the Bourgogne Wine Board. And we are very keen on going ahead to reduce and to arrive to a sort of neutrality in a few years.
It sounds like certainly the area and the people in the region are rising up to any challenges that are coming across and trying to adapt, which is fantastic. We've got a wine in front of us that you've selected to kind of highlight the area.
Yes, I chose a wine from a lesser known region, which is called the Hautes-Côtes, the high coast of Beaune, so behind the city of Beaune. It's Bourgogne Regionale. The regional wines in Bourgogne, they count for 50% of the production. It's a Pinot Noir, of course. 2022, a lovely balanced vintage. The growing season was quite easy, and it makes all what we like in a Pinot Noir, which is the finesse, the elegance, and the precision in the flavor.
You touched on this is a Regionale wine. Maybe we can now talk about those different classifications, gradings. How do they influence the kind of style of the wines that we're kind of tasting?
All the Bourgogne wines are terroir wines. We never put the varietal on the label. Okay, we're not selling a Pinot Noir. Now we're selling a Bourgogne Hautes-Côtes de Beaune 2022 from Domaine Boris Champy, for example. The appellation comes first, the vintage second, and the producers only third. Producer is hidden by his terroir. By a single vineyard. The hierarchy is, we have a pyramid, which is basically quite simple. So half of the production in Bourgogne, we have 33,000 hectares, so half of the production is regional, which is Bourgogne Rouge, Pinot Noir, Bourgogne Blanc, Chardonnay, a little bit of two varietals, which is Aligoté, which is a single specific Bourgogne varietal, and a little bit of Gamay. And the rest of, which is the other 50%, are the village appellation, Premier Cru and Grand Cru. And the Grand Cru, which everybody talks about because the reputation and the superlative prices, is only 1% of what is produced. This means that below that and below the 50%, the wines are the best value wines in their varietal category you can find on the market. I'm not afraid to say that to my Australian friends. We have so many Australian friends coming to make the vintage with us.
Yes.
We're
excited to learn, and
we are the target.
We
are the target. Yeah. They would like to make as good as we do.
It comes back to all of that history and knowledge that you have, right? So that's what we're keen to learn from. You're talking there about the 50% and below, and it just feels like there's these hidden gems within that 50%. Do you have any personal favorite hidden gems that you like to try?
First, I can say that why we are in Australia also, why we came with Jean-Francois Labet in Australia, it's because we altogether should not be focused on the plus 50%, which is the Grand Cru, Premier Cru, but in this, what we call take a close look. That's our program here. Take a close look to the regional appellation. What I told you before, the best values are there.
Certainly the ones to try. And it does feel like that message needs to get out there. Don't focus on those that are higher. Yep.
Yes. I am a Grand Cru producer of Clos-Vougeot, and I hate to be considered as a diamond producer. Okay, what we produce is certainly very much looked after, but it is only wine. It's only wine, and I have as much pleasure in drinking a great Macon Luni or Macon Chardonnay or Bourgogne Hautes-Côtes as I drink my own wines. Again, the best values, quality, V price for Pinot and Chardonnay are in this category. Worldwide.
What's the best way for someone to navigate through all that? How do I find value? Do I just go through Macon and Chardonnay and keep on trying and trying and trying? Is there a suggestion from yourself?
To go to the bottle shop you normally go and speak with the owner. We also have a lot of things to say and to explain on our websites. But speaking with the Australian wine professional is certainly the best.
Yeah.
You talked earlier about there's a younger generation of winemakers coming up in the area. How do you feel that they're coming through in kind of driving innovation, but staying to the traditions as well? Because it's a hard balance to walk through.
Luckily, we are followed by but remember, the generation above us gave us a lot of things, including the estate. So we are now transmitting those properties to our youngers.
Yeah.
At the difference of us, they have been traveling. My son went to Australia, for example. They have been traveling. They've seen what is done elsewhere. Their eyes is now widely open. They are, of course, extremely focused on having or practicing a very clean viticulture. They're very, very attentive to that. They know it's a huge challenge. They have a respect for their soils. And making wine is not like producing wheat or corn or whatever. You have to become a real paysan, un vrai paysan. You own your land. You have to know your land. There are so many different terroirs that is the one that produces this block that produces a specific wine is different from the neighbor, etc. So you have to know it extremely well. Almost, you have to know every vine personally.
Yeah.
And at the end, a little bit of experience will help. But I often compare making grand vin, great wines, in all the category. It's like making grande cuisine, like great food, great cooking. The most important in this glass comes at 95% from the vineyard, which means how can I produce the best grapes as possible with the weather? We are farmers, basically. We're not industry. We have to work with what God gives us outside. We've experienced recently some tough vintages production-wise, like 21 with a lot of frost, like 24 with a lot of humidity, a lot of mildew, hail, etc., etc. So the whole difficulty is to be in the vineyard all the time to produce the best fruits. After that, inside the winery, as I said earlier, the technology is there. There's no more bad wines in a way, but your personality is going to be shown, being expressed through the wine you produce, which means for red wine, you can make red wines out of 100% destemmed fruits or with some whole cluster or with 100% whole cluster, etc. So this will influence the typicity of the wine.
Do you think the philosophy around creation of the wine is changing, though, in terms of adaptation to, you mentioned before, climate change and other things? Do you think that's changing in terms of the philosophy?
No, the philosophy is still the same. Basically, the details details inside have changed, but the philosophy is in Bourgogne that the producer is first a farmer. I like to say that when you travel into Bourgogne, you see a guy bended in his vines with a plow.
Yep.
He's not immigrated worker. No, he's the owner. That's why I just said that a grower knows his territory.
Yeah.
He knows his vineyard, he knows his vines, he knows his soils. A good example, in between Dijon and Beaune, the Côte de Nuit, Côte de Beaune, it's only 4,000 hectares, small. There are more than 1,400 different single vineyards. It's a mosaic. So in a mosaic, one piece does not look like the other one.
Yeah.
And so you have to take all that in consideration, which means that the harvest is not going to be south-north or north-south. The harvest will be maturity block by block according to the maturity. And you may harvest a northern block before a southern block because the exposition, the soil makes that it ripens quicker than in the south, with that kind of details that you go from the good wine to the great wine.
And speaking to our Australian audience, what would be the case for them to try Bourgogne wines? What do you think is the appeal for them?
I like to say that we are the varietal region by excellence, the Pinot Noir region, the Chardonnay region, without talking absolutely nowhere about the varietal. So we are, if you like Pinot Noir, go to Bourgogne, you will have the finesse. Doesn't mean weakness, the finesse, a palette of flavors that will cover your mouth just like now when we taste this wine. And for the Chardonnay, the typicity of our soils, mostly calcareous in the center, very calcareous in the north where Chablis is, makes that we have those whites with a lot of precision. Natural acidity that makes again that you taste that, say, give me another glass.
Yes.
And you can't get that anywhere else in the world, right?
So far, no. so far, there's not that many places where you have the combination of calcareous soils and climate, continental climate, which is cold winter, spring, warm summers, because we are warm weather also in summer, and wet autumn. I can only say to your Australian fellows that finally Bourgogne is not that far. It's very accessible, geographically speaking. You know, it's 300 kilometers south of Paris, by train, by road, and the Burgundy grower is also very friendly. When we know that it took you for 24 hours, they come and say, "Okay, come in and taste." I may have not much to offer you for sale, but please taste.
Yeah, that's fantastic. No, definitely on the list for us to try and visit. We're probably towards the tail end of the interview. Did you have any last questions?
I guess the last one is, especially, I don't know whether it's our generation, but especially for Australians, we tend to drink wines quite quickly. We don't cellar the wines anymore. Does that align towards what you're talking about around those appellation type of wines?
It's all over the same, you know, for many reasons. One is a question of cellaring. Do you have a cellar or do you have a armoire to keep your wine? And second, the way of living also. We are not living like 50 years ago, where the families were one, where the family dishes were more en sauce, you know. So families are exploded. You know, one of my daughter lives in Los Angeles, for example, so it's difficult to meet everybody. We eat more fish, more poultry, maybe more red meat. So the kind of wine that goes with that are more younger vintages because they are on the foot. I'm not forgetting the collectors, connoisseurs.
Yeah.
They will always find somewhere in their closet to put aside a couple bottles to age. Surely the quality of what we do, because of this ripening, general ripening, makes that the wines we have 25 years experience since 99, 2000 now, and we see how the wines evolve. So they are good almost immediately, with a very interesting possibility of aging. An example with this wine, I am sure that in I mean, not too long, and it needs maybe 2 more years, will be even more open. You know, a comparison I often do is that wines are like planes. They have to climb and reach their cruising altitude. So during the climb, okay, they may be not up to what they will be when they arrive at the cruising altitude. But when and the regional wines, maybe 2 years, 3 years. The Village Premier Cru 4, 5, and the Grand Cru maybe 6, 7. Okay, it takes time, but after they will live for ever. You know, a personal thing is that early April I'm going to the US, where a collector is making a special tasting of my wines of Chateau de la Tour, the 100 years of Chateau de la Tour.
Wow.
So I'm anxious to see how the 04, the 15s, 19,
Wow.
not 20.
It certainly
a tasting. So
certainly isn't on the way up, so it'd be perfect.
no, Bon, voilà.
Very, very stable. Francois, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Did you have any last messages you wanted to share? Burgundy
is accessible. Take off our brain that Burgundy is prices are crazy and incredible. Bourgogne wines are not at the pricely wise, are not at the bottom, but they are, you know, for $20 Australian, you already get a good Bourgogne wine. It can be Bourgogne Rouge, Pinot Noir, Bourgogne Blanc, Chardonnay at your bottle shop. So don't be afraid of Bourgogne. They are drinkable and accessible, and match with all kinds of food. Your cuisine is very inventive in the way that it's a mix of
Different cultures, yeah.
different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And my wife would love that message about it being affordable as well, because she's seen me spend too much on wine. Francois, thank you again. For our listeners and viewers out there, if you want to learn more about Bourgogne and the area and wines there, check out the Instagram page, Vins de Bourgogne. Francois, thank you. As we like to say here, drink more, try more, learn more. Thanks all.